What is up, everybody? Mirrodin Gaming here, and we're back for another World of Tanks Tech Tree Tank Showcase and Review. Today we're taking a look at the first German medium tank of the series, the Panzer Kampfwagen 4 Ausf H. This one follows the typical, actually heavy design, where it's got a flat plate here, with a slanted plate here and here. The funny thing is, the flat plates are actually much stronger than the slanted plates. You also have a band around your cupola, which is where most people aim. So if they make the mistake of trying to aim there, yeah, that's actually the heaviest part of your armor. You also have these lovely plates on the side of both your hull and your turret that help you absorb those HE and heat rounds. But yeah, that is pretty much the design. We'll take a look at the live view real quick, but as you can see, if it weren't for these, yeah, HE would pin you in the sides all day long. But what people are going to try to do is hit you right here and right here. If they do manage to pin you with HE, they're going to do a lot of damage, so you definitely have to make use of cover and bushes with this tank. Let's go ahead and get over to the comparison. So, there are two different guns with this tank. There's a more traditional gun, but popular opinion says don't bother with that, use the derp gun. Because even though, and you're going to run HE in this thing, not the AP rounds, you want the HE, you are going to do quite a bit of damage even when you don't pin. And if you do manage to pin, you're going to make someone have a very bad day with 410 damage at tier 5. Yeah, if you start looking at the health of these tanks, 410 is more than half their health with one shot. Now, most of the time you're going to be doing like 100, so you're more in line with everyone else because of the splash. But on those off chances that you actually do pin, this is actually a credit earner. Like, people will run this thing if they don't have premium tanks with this derp gun with those HE rounds. So, food for thought. Anyway, first explosion radius, 1.91. And then shell velocity, because it is a derp gun, is pretty slow, so you definitely have to lead or try to pick targets that are stopped and just sitting there in the open. Alright, ammo capacity, 70. Yeah, you can literally just take all HE rounds. You could take a couple heat if you want to, because those do have the 103 millimeters of penetration, but majority of people are just going to run full HE the entire time. But as you can see, much more damage compared to everyone else, damage potential that is. Reload time of 7.76, slower, but it's a derp gun. Derp guns tend to have slower reloads. Look at the KB2, for example. Alright, aim time, 2.21. That's actually pretty good. I would try to get this down a little bit more so you can get that aim circle in quicker, and then be able to get those rounds off and retreat before you're seen. Gun dispersion of 53. It's a derp gun. It doesn't have great accuracy. You definitely try to get that down a little bit better to help. And then gun depression of 10. So that's where this thing kind of shines. You can use those little hills and stuff in order to hide your hull and whatnot and try to smack those people with those big HE hits. Speed of 40. Slow. Almost as slow as a lot of the heavy tanks. Even though it doesn't have quite the armor. But, you know, it's a medium tank. You can move around a little bit. You're really trying to stay a little bit further back than the standard medium tanks and just trying to smack people with that HE anyway. So, not that big of a deal. Then we have armor. Yeah, it's actually some of the worst armor in this tier. Even the VK3001H, the other medium tank of the German line, is much better as far as armor goes, at least in the turret for sure. Alright, then we get down to camo. It actually has the best camo, although we're not going to really focus on camo. It's just one of those little extra perks. And then view range, you're right up there in the middle of everything, honestly. Most of the medium tanks around here around this tier have 350 to 370 or so. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So, what are we going to do with this tank? Of course, you're going to want 6th sense, because you definitely want to be able to know when you're seeing camouflage. Eventually you want to get Brothers in Arms, but the first thing is you're going to want 6th sense, snapshot, smooth ride, and intuition. Well, actually, I guess you don't necessarily have to have intuition, because you're not going to be switching rounds. So you could probably take the Brothers in Arms first with the loader. Um, you'll also eventually probably want to get situational awareness and recon so you can spot for yourself towards the end. Since you are going to be staying a little bit further back, you're not going to be seen as often. Alright, as far as what do we want to put as our equipment? Of course, gun rammer. You need a gun rammer in this thing. We also want to try to make it to where we are not, our aim is not going down quite so much or getting changed quite so much. So we want to have the rotational device. And then it kind of comes down to whether or not you want aiming speed, a smaller aiming circle, or vents. Personally, I think vents are probably the best option just because they kind of give you a little bit better stats just all around. And there is no bonus to any of these, so you can put them in any slot you want. Alright, what's that get us down to? 6.6 reload time. Not as good as everything else, but for a derp gun, that's good. Aim time down to 2.11, so better than everything else. And dispersion of 0.5. Not great, but it's a derp gun. You don't have to be pinpoint accurate with this thing. You're basically just trying to splash them the entire game. Also, if we look at our stats down here, view range 386, not great, but I mean, you're a medium tank at this tier. That's about as good as you're going to get anyway. And yeah, that is pretty much it. Let's go ahead and get over to the gameplay. So we're going to be watching Tankist 16 of the Heat Clan in his Panzer 4. It calls it Panzer 4H, but trust me, it's the right thing. Alright, here we go. We're in an assault, I can't remember the name of this, Redshire. Alright, and here we go. And it looks like he is running the derp gun, but he's running heat rounds instead of HE, which is a viable option, because with that 103 pin, you can't, there are a lot of targets you can hit with that. A lot of the TDs, the mediums, the lights, actually most of the heavies at this tier. Right, he's just gonna... Ooh, there's a nice big heavy that he's got the side of. Oh, and a M10. That dispersion, of course, kind of hurt him there. Trying to remain unspotted. There you go. You see how long he was able to shoot and retreat before the shell reached the enemy. See, that's going to be your problem, is trying to hit moving targets. Nearly impossible. But 360 damage, that M10 having a very bad day at this point because half his health just got deleted. If you have a couple of these in a platoon, oh, it's so much fun, and also very frustrating for an enemy. If y'all both hit the same guy at the same time, back to the garage for that person. Kind of like a KV. This is basically a tier 5 KV2. Oh, oh, oh. See how he's moving. But you can see, it's almost like artillery. I mean, like the way it just lobs the shell. And you can see he can pull back. That is the funniest part for me. Is the fact that you can pull back, like you can fire and pull back before your shell gets there, so they don't even know where it came from. Look at that. That's crazy. Crazy. What else finished him off? Alright, what do they got now? There's a heavy tank. I didn't quite get a shot in on him, though. Let's move around, see what else we have access to. Not really seeing anything to shoot here. He's going to move up to see if it... Nope, that guy's behind cover. As you can see, he's trying to stay back just at the edge of spotting distance. Oh, there's somebody. Who's somebody? He's going to take a shot at the person that's got the most health because someone else would have killed. Oh, and see, absorbed armor. See, that's the one downside of running the heat, is you do no damage if you don't pin. HE, you'll do at least a little bit of damage. Yeah, the majority of the enemies are gonna stay inside. Try to get a blind fire off there. Okay, here we go. Wait for it, and boom, gone. Of course, wasn't the best use of his round because of course he does so much damage that. Oh, now he's spotted. He's got a. That guy made a mistake. Ah, except he didn't pin. Yeah, that's the problem with those heat rounds. You don't pin, you don't do anything. But those people see that big number flash up blocked, they're like, oh, maybe I don't want to poke out again. He's moving to help spot on this side. Actually, he's going to try to hit that Achilles down that corner. Bring this up a little bit more. Oh, he is right on the edge of the cap circle. I'll move into the cap circle. See if he can spot. Only 812 damage. But that's in like 2 shots. Yeah. Something's gonna let it fire. Boom. A big old hit of 341. Left the guy on 22 health. Oh, here we go. Oh, did he do damage to the Achilles? Yes, he did. Oh, but yeah, see, now he's getting tore up by this Tog here. Moves down, tries to go unspotted, see if he can get back up here. He finished off the guys on that right side, so now it's safe for him to move. Oh, there goes another deletion. Alright, already up to 2 kills. We did just see the artillery fire off somewhere over there, so he's going to take a blind shot and hits. Nice. Nice, very nice. 3 kills. 1600 damage. That's like really good for even the TDs of this level. But he's going to keep going. So like, yeah, we're not even going to bother capping now. It's like, I'm going to go shoot stuff in the face. That BDR he should be able to go through with the heat rounds because he doesn't have great ammo. Or great armor. But it's just the Tog and the BDR. He sees where the BDR is. He's going to move up here. Because he can eat a couple shots from that Tog. Oh. BDR finished him off, and I think he... Yeah, they destroyed each other. So an eye for an eye badge for them. Go. Oh, caught him on fire. Nicely done. So reload in time to finish him off. And boom, right in the back. Oh, left him on 32 health. And wait for it. Oh, someone else finished him off. But that was a pretty quick game. But 2400. We'll have to see if he hits. I know he hit at least 1 blind shot, if not 2. So let's go ahead and take a look at the stats real quick. Alright, so a total of 2700 damage, 3 kills. And of course, I think this was the tracking. Oh no, he detected it. Okay. Remarked his Panzerkampfwagen 4, or Panzer 4, whatever, H. Ace Tanker, Fire for Effect, because of course you're going to get Fire for Effect with this tank. A Lavash, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that, and a High Caliber. So he caused the most damage on the team for sure. Anyway, that's going to be it for today. If there's a specific tank you wish to see next, just leave it in the most current episode of the tank review videos. And of course, I record about 4 in advance, so it'll probably be the following week when it will show up. This is Meridian Gaming, and I will see you on the battlefield.